Hello everyone and welcome back to another Krebs Coho replay cast. This time around we're going to be doing a 1v1 on Sturzdorf. Alright, so Sturzdorf this time, and it's also going to be a feedback episode. So following my normal new format, basically every other episode I'm going to be asking you guys a question so as to engage you guys in some sort of heated debate, some sort of thinking, help you guys into some sort of mind thinking process, right, to get you guys involved and engaged into the game. This is a feedback episode, so following the last question was about the officer and how you would balance it. However, I'm going to be answering your guys' feedback, your guys' responses at the end of this episode, so I'll be doing that at the end of this episode. Right, so what we're going to be doing is a 1v1 on Sturzdorf today. I'm going to be getting the game started, and I will continue talking for you guys. Right, so let's head on over to the normal view, and we're at the 5-second mark for all you people watching through replays. We're at the 5-second mark, and we're going to be starting in 3 seconds. So in 3, 2, 1, and go. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and on we go to another matchup in the Company of Heroes battlefield. Right, so basically what we're going to be doing today is a matchup featuring Seph playing as the Brits on the northern side of Sturzdorf versus his opponent on the south side, which would be WantSomeNades as the PE player. Now, Seph is a level 19 Brit player at the moment. He's actually ranked 3. WantSomeNades, absolutely no clue. I can't find him for whatever reason. This replay is actually a few months old now, but still 2.602. But for some reason, he just does not exist. God knows why. Maybe he went destructive on his account and just deleted everything. But basically, Sturzdorf really confuses me as a map. I know a lot of people have quite amounts of opinions about this. A lot of people think it's a little bit unbalanced in terms of their strategic points, and actually let's switch on over to the tactical map and maybe you'll see why. Now, when I look at this map, it actually really confuses me. Left hand side, fair enough, that looks okay, but this is when the points become a bit skewed. Usually maps like to be a bit symmetrical. Now, I'm looking at the strategic points right now. There's a +10 over here, munitions, then there's a +10 over here, but where's this +5 on the northern side come from? I don't really understand where the balance for that is coming from. Maybe it's this point over here that's trying to balance it. I have absolutely no clue. And also on the right hand side, you've got a +10 fuel point up north and a +16 fuel point nearer towards the south. So I don't really understand the balance that comes into this map, to be honest, guys. I mean, a lot of people really don't like this map in terms of balance. They actually think that, you know, being on the north side, for example, might be a bit difficult to be on. For example, there really is so many opinions on this map, and I don't really understand it myself. So please do not come to me looking for answers of why Krebs does this map not make sense? Why? I have no clue. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, let's take a look at what's going to be being built. Now, I haven't done a Brit replay in the last while, so I've actually really wanted to do a Brit replay because I find it refreshing. Now, in terms of units, what we have for Seph, he's placed down his headquarters command truck right along here on a +10 munitions point, and now it's a +18 now. And he's also got a few infantry sections out. He's also got a lieutenant who is somewhere on the field at the moment. Can we find him? Yes, he's actually at the top left corner, capping away at the fuel, back capping, you could say, on those fuel points. Now we need that lieutenant up front to help these infantry sections. They could use some support against the Panzer Grenadiers, but the Panzer Grenadiers winning the first little engagement right here, just managing to chase away that one single infantry section. Hardy guys, but they're not going to stand up against 2 Panzer Grenadiers. So it was quite an even match, but I bet the Panzer Grenadiers would have won that anyway. Okay, and what we got up north is some capping for the Brits, and also some capping with the Kettenkrad. And yet again, this map does not make sense to me. I'm just looking at it. I'm sorry, guys. It really does not make sense to me whatsoever. Just where the reasoning behind how these points come together, why they come together. Now, what can you guys expect in this replay? It's actually a pretty damn cool replay. The PE strategy. Now, a lot of games, maybe what you hate seeing in a replay is the PE jumping up from Kampfgruppe Company up to armored cars and just spamming them. You usually see that a lot in American games. However, what's really cool about this game, I'm not going to spoil entirely, but we're going to be seeing slightly different vehicles being built. In fact, we're actually going to the Kampfgruppe Company and actually stopping there. So WantSomeNades is actually producing a two infantry half-tracks, actually. Let's switch on over to this gentleman and see what he's actually got exactly. He's got, in fact, 2 Panzer Grenadier squads, a single Kettenkrad, and 2 infantry half-tracks. So not going by the norm whatsoever. I mean, a lot of people would actually go for the 4 Panzer Grenadier squads, for example, and that would make a lot more sense. I mean, a lot of people would do that, but he's actually going for 2 infantry half-tracks, just jumping up to them straight away. Very low on fuel at the moment. So if we actually look at a tactical map, we can see that the Brits have managed to capture quite a number of points, and they've only done that because 4 Panzer Grenadiers aren't on the field to be stopping them from doing that. But now, this slight investment into the infantry half-tracks has meant that they can actually start raging onto these guys. And here we got a button coming down on one of the half-tracks. Man, this is some extreme damage coming down the half-track. I don't know exactly where from. I'm guessing that must have been from the Brent squad. But then again, it was buttoning it, so I wasn't expecting it to do that much damage. Not whilst buttoning, but oh man, the Bren is exactly what the Brits need at the moment. But oh jeez, it's really falling apart for both sides. I mean, the Panzer Elite just lost one of their infantry sections. The Panzer Grenadier, sorry, and also the Brits lost one of their infantry sections and just about to lose the second one as well. That is a lot to deal with for the Brits. I mean, 2 infantry half-tracks along with Panzer Grenadier squad was a bit much to actually deal with, so having to retreat out of there. In fact, just momentarily packing up that HQ because he needed to get that infantry squad out of there, because that would have actually meant the demise of probably the Brits. I mean, they would have actually nothing to deal with what the PE have at the moment. So 1 recon squad is just along the sides, is trying to cap away. Maybe just gonna harass this Kettenkrad a bit if he can do that. But all in all, the headquarters command trucks take a little tiny fraction of flak from the infantry half-tracks, taking tiny damage. They can actually damage it, but very tiny, minuscule amount. It's gonna take absolutely ages for them to destroy it if they were to stay there for, well, ages. So what have the Panzer Elite have? Not much, really. I mean, they're really investing into their taking this building out. In fact, very good strategy here going, because they've actually managed to chase away everyone from the headquarters command truck. So what they are actually doing is actually getting a Panzer Grenadier squad. Very Panzer Grenadier squad with tank busters, actually. Panzer Shreks. Very good option to be doing that. Very good choice, actually, because you get your Panzer Shreks from the Kampfgruppe company, unlocking it, and I suppose he's maybe saving up his munitions so that he can, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure what he's going to save it up for, but these are tank buster squads, and a bit different from the normal Panzer Grenadiers. So you can see the different camouflage. The difference between this and other Panzer Grenadiers is that for a slightly higher manpower cost, you get the Panzer Shreks with the squad, rather than having to upgrade them with munitions for the Panzer Grenadiers. So just basically switching it between manpower and munitions. So there we go. These Panzer Shreks are really laying into that headquarters command truck, so that is having to get away. We've also got the Luftwaffe doctrine selected, also another brilliant choice by Mr. WantSomeNades. So we have a few choices. In the Kampfgruppe company, you can also get advanced repair. Now, the advanced repair could help with these Panzer Grenadiers in terms of actually repairing these infantry half-tracks, but maybe he doesn't have the fuel. I mean, he definitely has the fuel right now, but maybe a little bit earlier he didn't. So now he's got the Luftwaffe. God, that's really a bit difficult for me to say. The Luftwaffe squad's out, and so they have their own advanced repair of themselves, so they will be the ones that are repairing these infantry half-tracks up to speed. But really, oh no, Seph is losing so many of his guys here. So much hassle. It's going to be really difficult. One lucky thing, though, for the Brits is that they have managed to produce a field support truck. So what we've got down south is that we've got a captain and a lieutenant who are capping away, whilst the Panzer Elite are so busy. We've got the Kettenkrad and capping away. We've also got those the captain and lieutenant who are really trying to help on over there in terms of capping anyway. So the captain is out. That means we can actually get a Stuart start to be produced. So switching on over to Seph, is he actually doing that? Yes, he is producing a Stuart light little tank, and that is going to help hopefully with actually dealing with these guys. I mean, definitely one brilliant thing about the Stuart is that it has a canister round, and now, considering how clumped up these guys are at the moment, that canister round could definitely blast these guys to the past. However, munitions, costly ability, and the munitions aren't really there at the moment, especially when you got +0 income on the munitions and fuel rate. What? Oh, I understand why. It's because the headquarters was just destroyed. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So you need that headquarters command truck. I actually did not know this. I really actually did not know that. But you need the headquarters command truck in order to actually secure an income in terms of your munitions and fuel. Even though you might have a fuel support truck, you need the headquarters and actually to secure munitions and fuel. I actually didn't know that. So there you go. I'm learning stuff every now and then as well. That Stuart light tank is somewhere on the field now. It's just over here, but what is he going to be doing? Maybe he's going to go and try to take out the Kettenkrad. But oh no, that headquarters command truck is gone. They needed that. The infantry section is going down. Seph is having such a bad day here. However, I would really like to see what Seph can pull out, because Seph is still an amazing player. I mean, why you don't get level 19 for nothing. Stuart light little tank is just coming around here, just trying to do some damage on the Luftwaffe anyway. Luftwaffe squads, and we've also got the tank buster squads just wearing away at the MGs. The MGs are taken out, and all in all, the sector here has pretty much been demised for the Brits. Basically, I mean, they could still capture this point, but all in all, the Brits are just trying to get away. They're in fact upgrading with what's called, I don't even remember, speed governors or something like that, where they can basically go much faster. And there you go, it's moving a little bit faster. Maybe that's what they need to actually get away, but oh my gosh, these infantry sections going down so easily is just so horrendous for Seph at the moment. It's the last thing he needs. He really needs to keep these his infantry sections alive, but it's so difficult to do right now when you've got just guys in your base, literally. So decapping of the main strategic point at the home sector. Also these these infantry half-tracks, they've got quite a bit of veterancy. I can't actually see them at the moment. There you go, double veterancy on that one. Also triple veterancy on this one. Stupendous stuff indeed. I mean, these guys have managed to get so many kills. 8 for that one, 12 for this infantry half-track. That is just the infantry half-tracks alone. That's not even talking about the guys inside of them. That is them alone. So this headquarters command truck running away as fast as it can. It's a cat and mouse game. Come on, faster, faster. Put the nitro on. Get it going. Let's see some nitro. And it's a cat and mouse game here, guys. They're just chasing each other. But it looks like WantSomeNades knows where he's going. Oh man, come on. Keep going, Seph. No, don't leave. Don't lose this field support truck. That's the last thing he needs. Maybe he's doing that. I'm not actually sure why he picked it up. Maybe he's just trying to lose the attention of these half-tracks. Maybe he's trying to just lure them away because he needs this main HQ, but the HQ is just trying to go somewhere secretive, just anywhere where it can manage to set up. It's just so iffy at the moment. So all in all, what Seph has is a single light Stuart light tank, and also a very badly injured lieutenant and also a captain. So we've got these half-tracks which are just roaming about the field. I think they actually know where to go. Do they actually know where to go? Where to find this vehicle? Not exactly sure. Lieutenant going down as well. Oh my gosh. Such heavy losses. And finally, Seph has an income again. 58 fuel, or 58 munitions and 26 fuel. Oh man, if you could only keep this alive though. In fact, yes, we've got a glider just coming down and blocking the infantry half-tracks. What a great move by Seph. I'm not exactly sure if he was trying to do that on purpose, but brilliant move to be doing that right at the nick of time, actually blocking the infantry half-tracks from even moving beyond this point. And there we go, the Stuart light tank is making itself known, and the commandos right there. Don't lose this tank, they need it. No, I don't know, this really doesn't look too great for the Stuart anyway. But come on, just keep alive. But this infantry half-track is right there, suppressing these commandos. No! He needed that Stuart so badly. We've got Verbal just coming out as well for the PE, so horrendous situation to be in for the Brits at the moment. But I mean, oh god, they were so close. So close. Some smoke screen coming down. I'm just providing them a little bit of bonuses, camouflage, but I suppose they were revealed. Seph is saying WPP, well played anyway. This headquarters command truck taking a bit of damage now, but all in all, Seph still has a lot of resources. And look at this capping of the points. It's such a messy layout. I mean, it's so very detached at the moment. It's not technically detached. I mean, he's still getting loads of resources, but it really is so skewed, these points being connected at the moment. So what else do we got coming out? We've also got another glider coming down for Seph, just putting down right there, whilst his headquarters is still alive, because as soon as his headquarters is gone, he can't use any actual doctrinal abilities as well. So needs to be careful on that front. But man, these guys, what are they going to do? Throw a grenade? Just, throw a smoke screen down, and that's pretty much it. Not much else they can do, really. So Seph is just trying to cap away some VPs at the moment. 179 points left for the PE. Actually, wow, I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be the opposites, but 178 points left for the PE and 500 for the Brits. So the Brits actually are doing a lot better than the PE on that front, on the VP. So I suppose Seph is maybe trying to win this by VPs. It's going to be really, really difficult when literally the only squad he has is a single commando squad. Putting down a demolition charge, that is going to become crucial. 79 munitions plus 0 munitions income rate at the moment. Oh man, this is horrendous. Very horrendous. I mean, he can't even get anything else. He has to rely on what he has. This manpower rate, and that's about it. He can go on a headquarters command truck, but that's going to cost him 400 manpower. This is so damn iffy. Still, keeping in the fight. Seph, still plenty of time to go. Seph is still maintaining his stance on this battlefield. Even with one single squad, Seph, the ultimate person to not give up. So many people at this point in the game would actually have given up. I mean, when they have literally one squad left, they would have given up. But these pros, they come to the stage of the game where they're not going to give up. I mean, they spend so much effort into getting their ranks and such like that. They're not going to give up easily. I mean, they don't want to lose their levels and stuff like that because they play competitively. So he's staying in the game, even for one single squad. He's just maintaining his stance in there. So headquarters command truck finally coming out again, but needs to really be careful. The infantry section half-track. Infantry half-track is moving about. Maybe he's going to be looking for the headquarters command truck again. Oh man. And in fact, yes, it looks like the infantry half-track is moving about, probably just trying to find it. No! No! Oh man, he's chasing him down. He is chasing him down indeed. There we go. He's getting speed governors, but I'm not exactly sure if that's going to make a difference. I don't think he's really going to be able to outpace an infantry half-track. I think they're probably going to go about the same speed. So there we go, the clown car chasing after the headquarters command truck. This is really becoming more like a circus act, if anything. Infantry half-track is having a bit of a difficult time to actually nail some of these shots on the headquarters command truck, and it's just speeding around the map, not even trying to be set up anywhere, but just speeding around the map, whilst up north the commandos are just trying to play some sort of harassive game. But oh god, I really don't know what's going on here. Seph is just trying to maintain these guys as long as he can. We've got the headquarters command truck actually retreating beyond this point. Is he going to be retreating? Oh no, he's going up north. Fair enough. And the infantry half-track, nowhere to be seen. In fact, this is just down here. And we've also got that Kettenkrad up north. We've got that commando squad gone. So all that Seph has is that single headquarters command truck. This is really becoming a circus show, guys. This is really becoming silly. This is totally beyond the normal gameplay of what we usually see. So 459 for the Brits. And here we go! The demolitions! Oh my god! Killing all these guys! Yes! That is what he needed! Nice! Coming down from WantSomeNades. That is perfect moves by Seph. Exactly what he needed, because that was the only anti-tank that the Brits or the PE had at the moment. And the infantry half-track was really quite a hassle. That is so perfect! Brilliant move by Seph. Also calling down a Tetrarch from his commandos tree, the Royal Commandos. This is going to provide some sort of tank support for the Brits, and for the PE, nothing really much. We've got all three buildings out required for something. We've also got the Tetrarch just being harassive at this point. I'm not going to ruin this gameplay for you guys. But the headquarters command truck finally being placed down, so can we get some sort of income coming in? We're just about to get something, just something. It's not going to be much, but you'll get quite a bit of munitions indeed. Plus 24 munitions and plus 10 fuel. There we go. Alright, so this Verbalvin is hiding in the back because I suppose he's a bit afraid of this Tetrarch. This Tetrarch will actually be able to counter that Verbalvin, I believe. You could actually do some damage to it, and I don't believe the Verbalvin could actually do much damage against the Tetrarch, unless those maybe the back armor. Cat and Crowd going down, so not much in terms of capping power for the PE anymore. PE are really lacking on their front. They've just got some guys out on the field. But all in all, it looks like the Brits are trying to make some sort of recovery. But what do we have here? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I bet all of you are probably rooting for Seph at this point. You're probably saying to yourselves, come on Seph! Get back in the fight! You're doing such a great job! That demolition charge was brilliant! So unconventional. That's how I was thinking anyway, but this must be definitely a game spoiler for you guys. A game ender. 2 Panthers coming out from the Panther battle group. That is from the 3 buildings I was just talking about a few seconds ago. At this point, absolutely nothing that Seph can do. Tetrarch, no chance against 2 Panthers. Maybe 1 Panther, maybe you could circle it for 5 hours and try and take it out. But 2 Panthers, no chance. Seph is in fact actually just relocating his headquarters elsewhere, I suppose, just trying to do what he can. Commandos down here, but oh man, this is just way too much to deal with at this point. Absolutely no anti-tank whatsoever for the Brits at the moment. This is just going to be going downhill and very, very fast as well. So it's just going to become a run and retreat game, cat and mouse yet again, for this Tetrarch. Just running away as fast as it possibly can. But what is Seph going to do? I have absolutely no clue at this point. Is there actually anything that he can do? He's actually setting up his headquarters command truck again and trying to retreat it. But oh no, like even if he just kept on doing this, and say if the headquarters was never managed to be found, is there anything he could actually do in terms of doctrinal choices? Absolutely zero. I mean, Tetrarch can't do anything. And there's just absolutely nothing that he can do. Commandos can't do anything. Headquarters command truck coming out again. This has just become such a silly game. Maybe Seph was trying to win this by VPs. I mean, he is trying to go around the field, just cap the VPs. I think he's just trying to hold in as long as he possibly can. Just doing some silly stuff like with headquarters command trucks, just running around and just using the Brits to get some of the VP points. I think that's what he's trying to do at the moment, whilst the P is just trying to win this by a sure victory. Butterfly bombs down over here, and so guarding that center VP, doing a lot of damage to these commandos who are actually retreating, camouflaged. Very well done. So maybe the P are still thinking that they would be around there, but he probably would have seen them retreating by now. So headquarters command truck going down just shortly again, but the replay just about to go finish, and that Verbalvin meeting the commandos and also the butterfly bombs there. Alright, so I think Seph finally decided that was the end. Well, I don't think he actually would have quit, but it was the fact that the headquarters command truck was destroyed and there were no more gliders out on the field. So well done to WantSomeNades for winning that match. So peculiar and so strange, so very different, but what can you expect from Seph? Such a highly ranked player, and definitely just going to try and stay in there as long as he possibly could. So where did Seph go wrong? Just as soon as these infantry half-tracks came over here, they just absolutely ruined the day of the Brits. They were doing so well in terms of capping, they had so many points, but as soon as those infantry half-tracks came out, it was just total demise. What could they have done differently? I really don't know, guys. I mean, maybe if they moved back a little bit quicker, maybe if they would try to move in front of the MG nest, you know, try to get some cover anyway, move back to the headquarters command truck. I mean, at that point, that's what they really could have used, maybe some support from the MG nest. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the replay. Now, what I'm going to do is going to do the feedback of the last question from last episode. So we're not actually ending the replay just yet, so we're actually going to head on over to the feedback. So the question that I gave you guys in the last episode, so on Monday I believe, was basically about officers and how you would improve the officer. Now I'm going to give you guys what your responses were in front of the screen and also what my opinions are. Now the officer is obviously a unit that struggles a lot for the last 5 or so years that Company of Heroes has been out. It honestly has never been improved, and it really should have been, but I have absolutely no clue why it hasn't. Now, I asked you guys, how would you improve the officer if you were able to do that? Now, from top to bottom, let's start with the oldest responses first, and then working our way towards the newest ones. So, Rafflecopter says, maybe I would have given him a bit more health, MP40 or STG44. STG44, I believe, is the ones that you get on Fallschirmjägers. Give him ability to chain to infantry, sort of like an officer. But you know, dev team went for a bit of realism and hacks. These officers were on battlefield only as support for propaganda or to coordinate barrages. They were mostly in the houses coordinating attacks and next military targets. They were not like Brits who actually did fight mostly on the battlefield. Alright, so I suppose there comes a bit of realism into this, but you know, one funny thing that that noun, when the moderators on the forums actually said, and I clearly remember this, is that he said, if there's a choice between realism and gameplay balances, it becomes quite clear that to the Relic development team is that balances and gameplay is going to be more important than actual realism. Now, that doesn't mean that the officers should become, well, like British officers. So, onto the next response. Smop SGJE says the officer is pretty useless. Yeah, speeding up production is not that big of a deal because you're mostly limited by manpower or fuel anyway. He's pretty effective for snipe hunting though. He has a large reveal radius, takes 2 shots to get killed, as Luger deals nice damage to sniper armor. It would be nice just to make him a bit cheaper, like 180 manpower, take over the bikes role as a sniper unit, sniper hunter later game, or give him a cloak ability to make him more survivable. I actually agree on some of those points. Making him maybe cheaper would be nicer, definitely would help in terms of him coming out. However, that's not the only thing. Even if he was dirt cheap, maybe people wouldn't actually still go for him anyway because they could spend their manpower elsewhere. But definitely there are some things that could be improved. As a sniper hunter, fair enough. That would take a little bit more balance in my opinion. I like the idea about cloak. If he was meant to become a sniper hunter or something like that, maybe he would get a cloak. But then again, let's think about having a bit of realism here. He is an officer. Is he actually going to be hunting snipers? I don't really think so. Eska Mobar, maybe his artillery barrage come down sooner like the forward observation officers of the British. Currently extremely easy to dodge because of the large delay. Also, when the Luger is extremely cool, while the Luger is extremely cool, he would probably get an MP40 or STG44. I actually agree that maybe his gun should be a bit better. Maybe if you could upgrade it, for example. But also his barrage ability really does need improvements. As I said a little bit earlier, a few minutes ago, basically the officer has not seen any improvements in terms of balancing pretty much ever. And so basically having that delay decrease would definitely help a lot more in terms of his usefulness being there. Bond8284 says how it should be. Now he's actually given quite a bit of stats, what he thinks it should be like. I don't know the exact stats of the officer, don't rely on me in that point, but he says that it should be around 200 manpower, 2 pop cap, 80 health, weapon, Luger or STG44 with upgrades to 20 munitions, ability, supervise, keep it as is, observe fire, increase the speed like the British, force retreat, keep it as is. Alright, so he's basically thinking that it should basically be the same, but add in some nifty, maybe a gun, maybe add some health, a bit cheaper, and also the observed fire. Fair enough, just what like everyone else has been saying. Pyrothem says he can cap like man with propaganda. He's capping. If he is capping, you must send more than one group of guys to deal with him. I've seen him to be used to great effect that way. I don't know what game you have seen him to be using great effect. I honestly don't know, okay? Maybe in noobish games where you're playing 4v4, fair enough, you can maybe see him to use some effect. But honestly, in 1v1, you're not going to get him used pretty much ever because you can't really use him to great effect in 1v1. It's not feasible. It's just not feasible to bring him out on the field. Andy is ripping says it could perhaps be fun if Relic added an American officer and make the German and the American officer kind of co-host styled Company Heroes Online styled stealth and all that RT barrage etc. Maybe it will be fun, but then again I don't think that it's absolutely necessary for the Americans to actually have an officer or anything like that. I don't think it's actually necessary. I think we should just focus on actually improving the Wehrmacht officer and just maybe introducing some sort of new strategies. Now over to Mr. Gaki, or actually no, let's talk Mac Amogadia. Oh god, I can't say that. Here's an idea. What if the officer could create a forward barracks healing hut when garrisoned in a building? Fair enough. Have some sort of build-up / takedown time, similar to the British trucks. That way he retains the support wall, which I feel is its intended purpose. The Wehrmacht have a range of units available from each building, and I feel that focusing the Sturm Armory or an anti-tank would be neither thematic nor useful. Right, I actually think that's a pretty cool idea. I never thought of that idea to actually allow them to build forward HQs or stuff like that. Obviously, infantry can normally do that, but say if he had like a special ability that he could build a forward HQ temporarily. Say if it was just for munitions or some sort of low manpower cost, he could set up some sort of temporary forward HQ. And say from that forward HQ, he would have sight or something like increased sight or something like that around that HQ. Maybe he could drop artillery barrages or something like that from there. I think that might be a pretty cool idea, something to maybe add. I never thought of it like that, but it could actually potentially work. Officers, Leonard says, officers could supervise also heavy machine guns, packs, and mortars, giving them faster reload and longer range. Now, that's the actual idea that I had, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to talk about that just after Mr. Gaki, but Mr. Gaki says that the officer needs a fire-up ability, and if you give him a large number of units and they all sprint, the officer would use so much more. Think about all the new taxes that would include the officer with fire-up ability. I suppose fire up could be nice, but then again, let's think about doctrinal abilities as well. Blitzkrieg, for example, pretty much the exact same. You have a fire up ability when you use Blitzkrieg, but also when you, for example, when you have the defensive doctrine, if you call for the fatherland, you're pretty much suppression resistant, so you can, keep on going and going and going. Maybe having a fire up would be a little bit different. You have it used against with the squads that are just around you, for example. Maybe you could do that. There's so many ideas, but my personal opinion, now let's talk about my personal opinion of what I was thinking. My opinion was maybe to keep him realistic like he is, however, make him more defined at what he does. So supervise, maybe extend that a bit to actually supervise, say, packs or heavy machine gun team supporting roles, so that they maybe, I don't know, fire a bit faster or something like that, more frequently, they have longer range, something like that, right? It could definitely help with some sort of infantry strategies. Also, other opinions that I've had is also, remember Company of Heroes Online where you had the Terror Officer? He could do some really nifty stuff. I think he had something like an execution ability, sort of like the, was it the Recon Squad for the British, the Marksman ability, I think is something like that. Sort of just you spend a little bit of munitions and it kills a guy instantly. Now that could actually be potentially useful as a sniper killer, for example. Also, that hero Terror Officer had different abilities, calling down artillery strikes and stuff like that, propaganda war, and so a lot of people saw the Terror Officer used actually quite frequently. It was part of many strategies, so it's really cool to be seeing the Terror Officer be used. So those are my opinions. Maybe for some sort of supervised, rework, work on infantry or something like that. Also, possibly some sort of likeness to the Terror Officer, the execution ability and different sort of stuff like that. Just so that there would be some sort of feasibility to bring him out on the field, most likely with heavy infantry strategies, and just bring out some new strategies for the Wehrmacht. It would be really, really cool to see something like that. But anyway, guys, no question this time around. That will be in the next episode. Hope you all enjoyed this very peculiar replay today. But of course, until next time, guys, hope you all have a very, very nice day. Bye-bye.